राइस विद बरखा में मेरे आज के मेहमान हैं प्रशांत किशोर, जेडीयू के नेता, और हम उनको एक पॉलिटिकल स्ट्रैटेजिस्ट के रूप में भी जानते हैं। लेकिन हाल ही में वो हमारे न्यूज़ हेडलाइंस में छाए हुए हैं क्योंकि वो कुछ इस तरह से बात है कि एनआरसी और सिटीजनशिप अमेंडमेंट लॉ, जो नया कानून है जिसके खिलाफ देश भर में प्रदर्शन हो रहे हैं, प्रशांत किशोर ने इन दोनों ही प्रोजेक्ट्स के खिलाफ अपनी आवाज उठाई और उन्होंने बिहार के मुख्यमंत्री और जनता दल यूनाइटेड के लीडर नीतीश कुमार को कन्विंस किया कि ठीक है, आपने सिटीजनशिप अमेंडमेंट कानून के पक्ष में वोट दिया, लेकिन आप बिहार में एनआरसी को मत आने दीजिए। ऑपोजिशन की क्या रणनीति रहेगी, कि क्या ये अब एक पीपल्स ऑपोजिशन मूवमेंट बन चुकी है? प्रशांत किशोर हमारे साथ है। प्रशांत, आप आजकल रोज एक ट्वीट पोस्ट करते हैं एनआरसी और सिटीजनशिप का जो नया कानून है उसके खिलाफ। एकदम से हम प्रशांत किशोर को इतना वोकल क्यों देख रहे हैं?
नहीं, हर दिन कोई ट्वीट करता हूँ, कोई
पहले नहीं करते थे
प्लान के। जनरली मैं ट्वीट ज़्यादा नहीं करता हूँ, लेकिन एनआरसी पे मैं सितंबर से, अगर आप देखेंगे, मैंने कुल 25-26 ट्वीट अपनी ज़िंदगी में करे हैं। उसमें 10 से 11 ट्वीट सीएए और एनआरसी के को लेकर है। और एनआरसी पे मैं पिछले 4 महीने से बोल रहा हूँ, जब से असम के रिजल्ट आए, जब से एनआरसी की प्रक्रिया असम में पूरी हुई। तो ये जिन लोगों ने भी एनआरसी की प्रक्रिया को ध्यान से देखा, वहाँ उनको इस बात का एहसास हुआ और होना चाहिए कि ये प्रक्रिया शायद हम लोग के देश के लिए बहुत अच्छी नहीं है, इफ़ेक्टिव नहीं है। और जिस पर्पस के लिए ये किया गया था, इवन दो वो जो प्रक्रिया असम में की गई, 3 साल लगे, हज़ारों करोड़ रुपए सरकार के खर्च हुए, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के मॉनिटरिंग में की गई, इसके बावजूद वो पूरा जो उसका आउटकम है, दैट इज़ नोवेयर क्लोज टू व्हाट वाज एक्सपेक्टेड इट टू डिलीवर। जिनका नाम उसमें आया है वो लोग नेसेसरली सब यहाँ के लीगल माइग्रेंट नहीं हैं। बहुत सारे लोग जो कि जेन्युइन यहाँ के लीगल रहने वाले हैं, सिटीजन्स हैं, उनका नाम उसमें नहीं है। इनफैक्ट बीजेपी के लीडर्स जो हैं वहाँ पे, उन्होंने भी उसका विरोध किया है। और सबको ऐसा लगा कि भाई इस पूरे प्रक्रिया का जो फाइनल आउटकम था वो कहीं से भी जैसी अपेक्षा रखी जा रही थी वैसी हुई नहीं। उसी परिप्रेक्ष्य में अगर हम लोगों ने ये बात सुनी पिछले 4-5-6 महीने में, और इंक्रीजिंगली मोर एंड मोर, कि अब इसको पूरे देश में लागू किया जाएगा, तो मेरा उसमें ये कंसर्न ये है कि जिस चीज़ को आपने एक असम जैसे स्टेट में लागू करने की कोशिश की, 3 साल प्रयास किया गया, उसका एविडेंस ग्राउंड अपने टेबल पे है, बिना उसको पूरी तरह से समझे हुए, उसके नेगेटिव्स और पॉजिटिव को इंटरनलाइज किए हुए, इसको ये कहना कि पूरे देश में लागू करेंगे, वो कोई बहुत बुद्धिमत्तापूर्ण नहीं है। और इसलिए मैं उस समय से इसके विरोध में बोल रहा हूँ।
आपके बारे में ज़्यादातर एक जो परसेप्शन है, इट इज़ दैट प्रशांत किशोर इज़ नॉन आइडियोलॉजिकल और पोस्ट आइडियोलॉजिकल। और हाँ, आपके बारे में ये इसलिए कहा जाता है क्योंकि शायद आप एक वो रेयर इंडिविजुअल हैं जिन्होंने नरेंद्र मोदी के कैंपेन पर भी काम किया, कांग्रेस के कैंपेन पर भी काम किया, अभी आप जनता दल यूनाइटेड के साथ हैं, बट यू वर्क विद अ होस्ट ऑफ रीजनल लीडर्स एज वेल। अभी ही खबर आई कि आप आम आदमी पार्टी के साथ 2020 के चुनाव में भी काम करेंगे। फॉर प्रशांत किशोर हु इज़ कंसिडर्ड नॉन आइडियोलॉजिकल, क्या हम समझ सकते हैं कि अब एक ऐसा मुद्दा आ गया है जिस पे यू फील सो स्ट्रांगली कि इवन द नॉन आइडियोलॉजिकल प्रशांत किशोर का एक तरह से एक कॉन्शियस जाग उठी है?
नहीं, बिल्कुल, ये तो लोगों का अपना परसेप्शन है, बिकॉज द माई जर्नी एंड ट्रेजेक्ट्री इन लास्ट 5-6 years हैज बीन समथिंग फॉर विच यू डू नॉट हैव ए रेफरेंस नेसेसरली इन इंडियन पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री। तो जब किसी चीज़ का आपके पास रेफरेंस नहीं होता है तो हर व्यक्ति अपने हिसाब से उसका इंटरप्रिटेशन कर लेता है।
आपका क्या इंटरप्रिटेशन है?
मेरा इंटरप्रिटेशन ये है कि आइडियोलॉजिकली, एंड आई हैव सेड इट बिफोर, आई एम सेइंग इट नाउ अगेन, आई हैव एन आइडियोलॉजी एंड आई फर्मली बिलीव इन इट।
कैन यू डिफाइन दैट आइडियोलॉजी?
I am coming to it, but equally important is the point that I do not want me, myself or anybody else to get intoxicated with ideology in the name of ideology.
कि rigid नहीं होना चाहिए।
It's very important for people of India, especially the young minds, to understand that all leaders or political parties, it is in their interest for you to get in a degree of intoxication with your ideology, so-called ideology, so that you lose the rationality and the objectivity of what you want to do. So if you are a supporter of BJP, by all means you have all right to support, whether you are doing it for ideological reason or you are doing it because of a person or a program or a commitment of the party. That's fair. But are we to say that if BJP is to do something wrong tomorrow, we should not question it? In reality, in India, that is what all political parties expect you to do in the name of ideology. Ideology, it
becomes equal to party loyalty.
Yes. It becomes equal to party loyalty, especially the kind of democracy we are, where you are whip driven. So whatever party gives you the whip, whatever is the whip of the party, you have to just follow it.
So then that's a very important point, because let me ask you कि जब आपने बयान दिया, आपके जो पार्टी थी उन्होंने सिटीजनशिप लॉ के पक्ष में वोट दिया पार्लियामेंट के अंदर, एंड यू अपोज दैट, और बहुत से लोगों ने आपको ट्वीट करके बोला प्रशांत तो आप जेडीयू छोड़ क्यों नहीं देते। कुछ दिन बाद आप नीतीश कुमार से मिले और आपने अपनी रेजिग्नेशन ऑफर भी की, वो नहीं स्वीकार हुई, और उल्टा ये हुआ कि नीतीश कुमार ने स्टेटमेंट दे दी कि हम एनआरसी नहीं लागू होने देंगे। व्हाट एग्जैक्टली हैपेंड एंड डिड यू थिंक ऑफ लीविंग द जेडीयू, एंड इफ यू डिड नॉट, क्यों नहीं?
देखिए, पहली बात यह है कि इफ़ आई हैव फेल्ट स्ट्रांगली अबाउट एन इशू, एज आई सेड इन द केस ऑफ आइडियोलॉजी, अगर मैं किसी विषय को लेके एकदम कन्विंस्ड हूँ कि ये सही है और ये गलत है, तो जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ बीइंग इन ए पार्टी और होल्डिंग ए पोजिशन, इफ़ आई चूज टू डू दैट, इट वुड नॉट बी राइट थिंग टू डू। और मैंने अभी शुरू करा है अपनी पॉलिटिकल जर्नी, अभी शुरू करी है। मुझे अब मेरे पास जो ऑप्शंस अवेलेबल थे पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज़ में, उसमें बिहार के संदर्भ में विशेषकर जदयू वाज द पार्टी विच आई थॉट इज़ द बेस्ट, एंड आई स्टिल थिंक इट इज़ वन ऑफ द बेस्ट ऑप्शन गिवन व्हाट आई नो ऑफ नीतीश कुमार जी, एज यू वुड नो एंड मेनी पीपल हु नो अस नो नीतीश कुमार क्लोजली.
Why did he vote for the citizenship law?
I'm coming to it. My relationship with Nitish Kumar is not purely political. My relationship with him is much more than political. And all what I have heard from him, in private and otherwise, I have found that this guy is probably closest to what I would like to see in a leader. Now, for many reasons, which are not necessarily all the time ideological, sometimes people have to make adjustment, and
Political compulsion.
it's compulsion, or you have to be not fanatic about any position. You have to make some adjustment, and we realize that. I give you an example of him moving from where he was to BJP to form government in Bihar. Now, it's not that we have not debated it internally, even one-to-one, because I was helping him in the campaign in 2015. And after 2.5 years, when he chose to shift, I was not there, but later on when I had an opportunity to talk to him, and whatever I could gather, his explanation was, and which I bought into, is that, the idea was to run Bihar on an agenda on which we have fought the election. Those 7 points I was not able to implement as well as I would have liked it to when I was with RJD. Hence, I decided to quit. And when I quit, then the option was either I go back and fight election, seek a fresh mandate, or
I go with the BJP.
Or if the offer was from BJP, take that offer and continue to execute what I think was the 7-point promise which he has made. To be fair to Nitish Kumar, he is one of the leaders who have stuck to those 7 points.
Why did he vote with the citizenship law?
Now, and that is why I was surprised, and I have gone public with my opinion on it, that usually Nitish Kumar on these issues, it's not about forming the government. See, forming the government with a political party is a temporary thing. You can form a government with party X and you can move, you can form party with coalition with party Y. It's more driven with the immediate requirements and needs. But when you join a party in their desire to bring change that could be seen as laying the foundation for permanent discrimination or prosecution of certain section of society, that's a far bigger commitment to make.
I agree.
And hence, I think there is no way JDU or the party in which I am could support these two, and I emphasize the point, support the combination of CAA and NRC, because this is just जिसको कहते हैं प्रोपेगेंडा कह लीजिए या मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन है कि सीए अलग है और एनआरसी अलग है, दीज आर वन हैज टू सी।
ये जुड़े हुए हैं, मैं इनको ट्विन प्रोजेक्ट्स कहती हूँ, लेकिन हम उस पर अभी बात करेंगे। मैं आपसे फिर पूछना चाहती हूँ, जब आप उनसे मिले, आपने उनको अपना इस्तीफा ऑफर किया।
देखिए, मैंने उनसे व्यक्तिगत तौर पे क्या बात कही वो अभी पब्लिक डोमेन में करने का कोई समय भी नहीं है और उसकी जरूरत।
पर आपने क्या एक कंडीशन रखी कि आपको कहना पड़ेगा कि एनआरसी बिहार में नहीं लागू होगा?
नहीं, मैंने उनसे ये समझने की जरूर कोशिश की कि पार्टी ने किन परिस्थितियों में
समर्थन दिया,
जिस पर कि पार्टी का पोजीशन अभी तक ये रहा है कि हम लोग इसके समर्थन में नहीं है, हम लोगों ने क्यों समर्थन करा। उन्होंने जो बात कहनी थी वो कही। मेरे ओर से इतना ही था कि इसका जो नेक्स्ट स्टेप है, हम लोग की पार्टी की जो पोजीशन अभी तक रही है कि बिहार में एनआरसी की जरूरत नहीं है, बिहार में एनआरसी नहीं होगा। आर वी चेंजिंग ऑन दैट एज वेल? ही हैज assured me and I have been on record right after talking to him. I came out and I spoke to media and I have been speaking to.
If he goes back on this,
there's no question.
If he goes back on this, will you leave the JDU? If he goes back on this, will you leave the JDU?
No reason to, I'm coming to it. I have no reason to believe that he will change his stance on no NRC in Bihar. If he does, then we will take a call. And you have already, for me, being in politics is not as important as doing what I think is right thing to do.
So you basically saying
I rather not be in politics than to be in politics where I have to compromise on whatever I believe is right. I may be wrong in my own belief, that there's no, and you can question that.
Yeah.
But whatever I believe is right, I think I'm too much of a rebel in my own head to compromise on that and just to remain in a political.
I think you've given the answers to what will happen if Nitish Kumar does go back on his position, but at the moment you believe that will not happen. Chaliye, ab NRC.
And also, see, my responsibility is not only to give resignation and walk out. My responsibility is that to do everything possible at my command to make sure that this does not happen. The question which you asked, that why didn't I just simply send my resignation? That would not have probably created as much impact as
getting him to issue a statement.
And with him, and just being there with him, telling that no, we should just stick to what has been your stance, which is no NRC in Bihar. This is far more effective and impactful than me simply putting a resignation to make a point.
Now let's get into whether this statement has any meaning in real terms. और मैं ये
statement,
जब नीतीश कुमार आके कहते हैं कि मैं बिहार में एनआरसी को सपोर्ट नहीं दूंगा, जब नवीन पटनायक आके कहते हैं कि देखिए हमने सिटीजनशिप कानून को सपोर्ट दिया लेकिन एनआरसी नहीं होगा उड़ीसा में, अमरिंदर सिंह has also made a statement like this. Mamta Banerjee, whom you also work with, has made a statement like this. In real terms, this is a central government-driven law and a central government-driven operation. So will be the NRC. जब प्रदेश आके या प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री आके बयान देते हैं कि हम अपने प्रदेश में ये नहीं होने देंगे, beyond symbolic protest, ये क्या, इसका क्या वैल्यू है?
बिल्कुल, मतलब आपने सही सवाल पूछा। ये लोगों के मन में ऐसा भ्रम है कि ऐसा तो है नहीं कि हम लोग को जानकारी नहीं है कि सिटीजनशिप फॉल्स विद इन द राइट ऑफ द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट। ऑफ कोर्स, बट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड इट्स नॉट अ प्योरली लीगल इशू. You have to also see that center can legislate as they want, and they have done. They can decide to go ahead with NRC across India. Probably they will. But the thing is, the actual discrimination or prosecution starts when it gets operationalized on the ground. Now, the core question that we need to try to answer is, can center do this operationally? No, to the best of my understanding, no matter what happens, unless state governments are on board, they cooperate, they lend their resources towards this exercise, there is no way center can carry out an exercise like NRC.
Why do you say that?
Because
the center can just send its own representatives.
Which representative? Where is central government has the resource? Which resource central government has which they can deploy across country to do this exercise? I dare say that even if states are to cooperate, logistically this is a nightmare. It is never going to be done. How in India, where we have not been able to identify who are living below poverty line, that's about 1/3 or 1/4 of the population, are we to say that all of a sudden governments, and I'm including for a moment, including the state governments, they have the resource to check, verify and authenticate who is the citizen, who is not, then where are those hundreds of and thousands of tribunals which would be required to be set up for people to go in appeal and challenge? Where are those places where if someone is not finding his or her name in NRC, where they are going to be detained? What are the mechanisms there for with the state to hold them at one place? And finally, suppose X number of people are not are identified as the ones who are not the rightful citizens here. What are we going to do with them? Are we to say that we are going to put them in detention center or we are going to throw them out? Only thing is, yes, throw them out, but where?
So are you saying it's unimplementable? Are you saying the NRC is an unimplementable scheme?
I am willing to debate it with anyone. Forget about for 1 minute, forget about the ideological positioning, whether it is...
You're saying whether you support it or not, it's unimplementable.
It is unimplementable beyond the bravado and rhetoric. How on the earth you are going to do this? I give you the number based on what we have.
Then why do you want an announcement from Amit Shah that there will be no national NRC? Because if unimplementable hai, to hone hi nahi wala.
I'm telling you why. Because first of all, I'm not asking BJP or BJP leadership to say no. Because I firmly believe that they are well within their democratic right to implement what has been their agenda. At least in these elections, it is part of their manifesto. This is what they promised to people, and people have voted for it. Yeah. And hence, it is, I would say, if they so choose, they are within their democratic right to try to implement it. While this is fact, the other part of the fact is that they got 39% of this population of this country has supported them. Yeah. That means 61% people of this country have not necessarily...
But we have a parliamentary first past the post system.
I'm coming to it, and that's why I'm not talking about parliament. 61% people have not necessarily bought that agenda. They are equally within their democratic right to oppose this agenda. Right. Now, parliament is just one facet of the mandate and the what people want. There, BJP has the majority, they have passed the law. Right. But 16 states today are ruled by non-BJP governments. They have fought and won elections or the mandate of the people on the agenda which is opposed to the agenda of BJP. That is why, if you see my tweet, I have said that it is Parliament, BJP has the majority, they have passed the law. Now the 16 chief ministers who are opposed to this agenda and cumulatively who represent those 61% people...
You're saying it's their responsibility?
Their responsibility.
What can they do in real terms?
They can just simply say, as you are seeing, Chief Minister after Chief Minister has come out in public domain and said, we are not going to...
And if the centre still pushes through, let's say the centre gets a Supreme Court order, let's remember that the NRC and Assam was Supreme Court mandated. Yes. So beyond the rhetoric, इसमें कहने में क्या value है कि हम अपने प्रदेश में NRC नहीं होने देंगे?
मैं वही कह रहा हूँ कि अगर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट कोऑपरेट न करे, अगर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ये रिफ्यूज कर दे कि हम नहीं कर सकते हैं,
सेंटर के क्या ऑप्शंस होंगे अकॉर्डिंग टू?
सेंटर के पास क्या ऑप्शन है? सेंटर कैन टेक द स्टेट ऑन बोर्ड बाय कन्विंसिंग देम. If they fail, then they can sue them under the law, they can take them to the court, and the third option is they can dismiss the government under 356. Now, are we to say that we are leading towards a situation where central government is suing 10, 12, 15 state governments against their wish? Or suppose that many people are writing to me that you are not understanding, they can simply dismiss them. Are we joking? Are we saying that central government is going to use 356 to dismiss 16 state governments or 10 state governments using 356?
So you are saying the responsibility of stopping the NRC is on the 16 non-BJP chief ministers. One, primarily. Two, the centre can do nothing if the states refuse to cooperate.
They can't, because as I said, they can, at most they can take them to court. At most, worst come worst, they can dismiss them. But there is another additional point there. Assume that central government chooses that come what, we will implement it, we will dismiss it.
The Home Minister has not spoken about dismissing governments, but he has said that we are 100% going to at least go through with the citizenship law.
Okay, so I see you go on and dismiss a government. Then what happens? Within 6 months, as per the constitution, their elections are to happen again in those states. What happens if the government which got suspended for their opposition of NRC, if they get re-elected? Are we to say that we will go on dismissing the government till they fall in line? Is it possible? And that is why I repeat, no matter who says what, no matter what law government of India passes, until and unless all state governments are on board, or most of them are on board, it is simply not implementable, and hence it will never get implemented on the ground in the manner which is being projected.
मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहती हूँ, आपने ओनस डाला 16 नॉन बीजेपी मुख्यमंत्री और उनके प्रदेशों पर, लेकिन अगर हम आज
मैं सिर्फ 16 चीफ मिनिस्टर को नहीं कह रहा हूँ, मैं कह रहा हूँ those who are representative of the opposition 1% of population. Chief ministers are one, parliament is one facet, chief ministers are one facet, then there are people. Democracy is not.
But let's talk about the people. We have to see, first we have to understand one thing. The might of a will of the people is not solely represented by the numbers in parliament. Parliament is one of the most important reflection of the popular sentiment and their decision, but that's not the be all and end all. Okay, I have to ask you this. A lot of people today believe that the opposition to the CAA and the NRC is people-led. कि आज जो opposition है, जो सड़क पे लोग आए हैं, वो student-led movement है, वो ordinary Indians की movement है, और हमारी opposition इस पूरे सिनेरियो से एक तरह से मिसिंग है. They've been following, not leading this agitation. One. Two, let's look at someone like Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi has chosen this week to be in Korea. What sort of message is that sending?
See, who is leading the...
So what sort of message is Mr. Gandhi being abroad at this point sending?
It's not important that who is leading the voice of the opposition or those who are opposed to this legislation. It's important that those who are opposed, their voices are there. They are registering it in all possible forms, as you yourself is saying, whether it's the students, old, young, poor, rich, that doesn't matter, so long it is there. Whether it is led by Mr. X or Mr. Y does not matter at all. Mr. Rahul Gandhi has not been opposing this, so he is not in country apparently now. But NRC process in Assam got finished almost 6 months back. We haven't heard anything from Rahul Gandhi on NRC either. So I'm not...
You mean back then when the NRC process first started?
No, when NRC process got finished, we had the result which we just discussed, and it was very clear that it is no longer, the NRC is no longer only targeting a section based on religion. It is actually the poor who are suffering, because out of 19 lakh people who could not make it to NRC in Assam, majority of them, close to 13.5 lakh people are from the majority community. While you and I could not find a single millionaire or a crorepati, whether from minority community or majority community, who has not made it to NRC. What does it tell you? It tells you that it disproportionately discriminates the poor, those who do not necessarily have the resources, land, asset, and energy and time to prove that they are the citizens of this country.
But elaborate on what you call Rahul Gandhi's silence when this NRC process got completed in Assam and lakhs of people found themselves stateless suddenly.
But I'm saying Congress is the principal opposition party in Assam.
Has it done its job as the principal opposition party?
NRC process got completed, at least the listing process got completed 6 months back. It is clear and in public domain that these many people could not make it to NRC. There has been some real heart-wrenching stories coming out, both in terms of process during which people suffered, especially the poor, I keep repeating that, and after the results, when people found that their name is no longer there or they couldn't make it to NRC. Congress has not done much, at least at the top. At least I have not heard or read anything on the part of Congress leadership on the outcomes of NRC in Assam. So for us to expect that Rahul Gandhi today would become the voice on this issue for whole of India would be probably asking a bit too much of him. So it doesn't matter to me whether he is here or whether he is in Korea, or he was very much in India last 6 months on and off, and as I say, I did not hear a single word.
So he's irrelevant.
Even a single tweet from Congress leadership on NRC. opposing to it, or at least standing with people who are made to suffer both in the process and in the outcome.
So he's irrelevant in this debate.
I'm not saying he's irrelevant. That's not my job. He's too big a person for me to call him irrelevant. I'm just saying that we haven't heard his voice on this issue until now, at least. So I wouldn't be too much bothered about when he chooses to make his voice audible to us. If he does, it's very good. If he doesn't, that also doesn't matter, because people will stand up and raise their voice on their own.
Okay, let's go through the BJP's arguments on this issue. Let's first start with somebody you're working with. You're working on the West Bengal campaign with Mamta Banerjee. She led a massive protest and said, "Yahan pe NRC nahi hoga. The issues that matter to this country are something else." Let me give you what the BJP is saying about Mamta Banerjee and you, Prashant Kishor. That actually you're scared. You're scared कि CAA के बाद अगर NRC भी हो गया, and West Bengal is a state where there is a majority of migration that has taken place from Bangladesh. The BJP will do successful polarization. Hindu vote consolidate hoga unke paksh mein, because let's be very clear, the new citizenship law will allow the Hindu migrants to say that we are persecuted minorities of Bangladesh. The Muslims will be left isolated, and you cannot win Bengal on the Muslim vote alone, and the Hindu vote will then go to the BJP. You are opposing NRC today. You, Prashant Kishor, otherwise so non-ideological, are opposing the NRC today because you're scared of losing Bengal.
Okay, so first of all, I take again objection of you calling me non-ideological, but your choice.
I am giving you, and it's my job to give you the argument.
It's fine.
Your
But
job
you
to
see,
answer it. Yeah.
Whether I know many other things in life or not, but at least you will give it to me that I know little bit about elections at least. I must tell you, this whole hoopla built around that if you oppose to BJP or any of their agenda which are linked directly or indirectly to this majority-minority debate, everything gets polarized and you lose election. I challenge those journalists, political journalists, analysts, commentators to come out with hard evidence and show me, give me one incident, one legislation, piece of legislation, one incident, one initiative of BJP that changed the course of the political outcome which was there. What I mean to say, that are we to say that BJP was losing an election and just because they brought this agenda they have won? If Bengal, they did well, there might be variety of, at that time there was no CAA, there was no NRC. BJP has done very well in Lok Sabha. They have started this debate of CAA and NRC and they have lost 3 by-elections. One of the by-elections, for the benefit of your viewers, was in Kaliaganj. Kaliaganj is a Vidhan Sabha in the North Bengal bordering district to Bangladesh, which is probably at the forefront of this whole debate of illegal immigrants, Muslim, Hindu. BJP had a lead of 57,000 votes in that particular Vidhan Sabha only in last general election 4-5 months back. Now, and Trinamool has never ever won that seat in their own history, political history of 25 years. This seat has been won by Trinamool now with 2,300 votes. If what you are saying, that just because they have brought a CAA, just because they are talking about NRC, they are going to win everything, then how did they lose Kaliaganj? So elections are voting, whatever little I understand, it is never on one issue or one cause, and our desire to find a cause and effect relationship is something that probably at times lead to this overemphasis on, you know, if you oppose, it will get polarized.
Why is the opposition so defensive then? Other than Mamta Banerjee, even Arvind Kejriwal, he has spoken yesterday, but before that he was defensive. You said, the Congress is missing from the debate.
You said why opposition is defensive.
Yes.
Are you saying that they were offensive before and they have become defensive now?
No, I think like many people, many Indians, that we need a new opposition. What I think is a different debate. Do you concede that the opposition has been defensive on the citizenship law and NRC?
No,
they're scared of religious polarization.
No, not at all.
They're scared of the BJP successfully making this a Hindu-Muslim issue.
No, not at all. I think please make a distinction between opposition and opposition parties. Opposition is the 61% what I am talking to. Opposition parties is what the names you are taking.
Have the opposition parties been defensive?
No, that's their choice. But it's not that they have become defensive on this issue. If
They are generally defensive.
If they and see in 2014, you are saying that today they are defensive because they do not know how to respond to this issue, which quote unquote could polarize.
Yeah.
Did they lose election in 2014 because of this?
Fair enough.
Did they whether they were on offensive and on rampage, well on front foot, on ahead of BJP in the run up to the election of 2019? If you are anyway you are losing, why to put blame on these things?
Okay, इसमें एक और बात भी है.
Another thing. See, one thing is that everyone wants to win election. All parties they want to win election. It's right. There's no problem in it. But if you genuinely, and I emphasize the word, if you genuinely are opposed to an idea, whether you win election or not, if you are not opposing it, make no mistake, as the famous saying goes, an idea unopposed will become reality sooner or later. So it's not a question. Where is the election today? Today the elections are in Jharkhand.
Okay.
So why a party in Karnataka or Kerala or Telangana or Rajasthan?
Okay, now we are a very complex country. ये जो protests हो रहे हैं, ये हर जगह uniformly motivated नहीं है. Now you know this. नॉर्थ ईस्ट में जो प्रोटेस्ट हुए हैं सिटीजनशिप लॉ के खिलाफ, those protests have in fact taken place because they don't want the Assam Accord violated. They say कि 1971 was the cut-off. उसके बाद जो आया है वो चाहे हिंदू है या मुसलमान है, actually we don't want illegal migrants. This is an area with more than 200 indigenous tribes. They feel इनकी cultural एक identity है वो डैमेज होगी. जो बाकी जगह प्रोटेस्ट हो रहे हैं, प्रदर्शन हो रहे हैं, वो इसलिए हो रहे हैं कि there is a discrimination which would possibly leave the poor Muslims in particular marginalized. Now, Prashant,
it will leave the poor
of all
community. It is not about Muslim. I cannot emphasize this point enough. There are like 20 crore people in this country who are landless. How on the earth they do not have house, they do not have land. How on the earth they are ever going to prove, and with what kind of document they are going to prove their citizenship, establishing the whole chain for last 20 years. Even if they were to do this, imagine the logistical nightmare, the daily wage worker who has to queue up to the office, government designated places, the offices, they have to bribe people, they have to bring all those documents, they have to make n number of effort to prove what is already proven. Why I'm saying you have problem with illegal immigrants. We are all for it. Please identify them, throw them, do whatever you want to do them. Whether they are Hindu, Muslim, I don't care. But for your own inefficiency and not being able to identify them and prosecute them, why are you making to 95% or 97% Indians to queue up and suffer to prove their citizenship?
So do you support an NRC for Assam, for Bengal, to identify illegal migrants?
I support the idea that those who are living illegally in this country, whether it is Assam or Bihar or Kerala or Tamil Nadu, government must find an efficient way which is not inconsistent with the global standards of the humanitarianism, and deal with them according to that. To address that small problem of 2% or 3% or 5%, please do not make 130 crore people to suffer over next many years.
Is there a contradiction in your argument? You want the government to announce no nationwide NRC, but you are willing for a process like that to take place in the east or border states where such kind of infiltration may have taken place historically?
I'm all for the process across India that allows government to identify and deal with the illegal people who are living here illegally.
Yes.
But to do an NRC is akin to saying that suppose you want to save your feet from the dirt and on the road, you are saying rather than wearing a shoe, I will cover the entire road with cover the entire road. Is it a logical thing to do? If you want to protect your feet from the dirt, wear the shoe. So if you have 3%, 4%, 5%, and unfortunately we don't have the number in this country. Another point. See, if those 3, 4, 5% people have come here, you complete this massive exercise. You you identify those people, we don't know where they will go, but assume that you will be able to handle them, those 4-5% people, which we are talking about 7 to 10 crore people. If you are so bad as a government or as a system, your system is so porous, again another 10 years the same people will come. How many times we will do NRC?
Okay, now let me...
Where is the solution? Solution lies in government's routine system to become effective with right tools to be able to deal with illegal immigrants in a manner which is sustained, which does not cause great inconvenience to the people at large, and is not disruptive, certainly not discriminatory against a particular religion or a class.
Okay, here's the point. First, we have to make it very clear that even the citizenship law places December 2014 as the cutoff. So we are not looking at futuristic people coming in, futuristic migration. Hence the question becomes...
I'm saying futuristic migration will come. No?
आप कह रहे हैं वो होगा, लेकिन अभी की बात करते हैं जो कानून में लिखा है, जो कानून में ये लिखा है कि जो लोग ऑलरेडी यहाँ बरसों से रह रहे हैं, मुझे सवाल पूछने दीजिए कि जो लोग यहाँ सालों से रह रहे हैं, अमित शाह कहते हैं कि यहाँ पर जो हिंदू आए हैं पाकिस्तान से, वो परसिक्यूटेड माइनॉरिटी है और वो यहाँ आके बस गए, लेकिन कभी कंट्री ने उनको राइट्स नहीं दिए। क्या आप इसके पक्ष में नहीं है कि हिंदुओं को वो राइट्स मिले?
बिल्कुल पक्ष में।
30,000 माइनॉरिटीज, हिंदू, सिख्स फ्रॉम अफगानिस्तान, आप नहीं चाहते कि उनको राइट्स मिले?
मैं कह रहा हूँ जो आगे उनका ही क्यों, आप गवर्नमेंट, आई हैव नो ऑब्जेक्शन एंड रादर आई वुड सपोर्ट एन पोजिशन ऑफ गवर्नमेंट विच सेज अक्रॉस ग्लोब इफ देयर आर हिंदूज or communities which are related to India who are in minority elsewhere in the world, if they are prosecuted, we as a state will help them, reach out to them, bring them back here and give them this.
But should that be irrespective of religion, or do you accept the argument? Do you accept the argument that Hindus or non-Muslim minorities, which is what the new law does, the natural destination from these 3 Muslim countries is India? या आप इसमें आपने अपनी position clear नहीं की है?
But see, Tamils have come from Sri Lanka. What about them? So see, this whole debate is very misleading when you're trying to make it Hindu-Muslim. It's not about Hindu-Muslim.
Of course it's about Hindu-Muslim. A political party may not want to say it's about Hindu-Muslim, but this issue is about Hindu-Muslim. हमारी जो राजनीतिक दल है, वो defensive है ये कहने में कि ये Hindu-Muslim मुद्दा है.
It is an issue in some sense, but in reality it is an issue of poor and rich. Those who are poor, which rich person from Bangladesh, Pakistan and Afghanistan, the rich Hindu, if he has to migrate, probably he will migrate, even if he is prosecuted, he will migrate to London. He is not going to migrate to the one of the far-flung districts of West Bengal. Are we to say that prosecuted Hindus who are rich, I'm talking about Hindus, prosecuted Hindus in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, if they were rich enough, when prosecuted, would they come and live in one?
Are you comfortable with the citizenship?
They would have come to London or they would have come to Delhi.
Are you comfortable with the exemption that the citizenship law makes for these 6 religious minorities of 3 Muslim countries if the NRC is not implemented?
I have no objection to anyone getting citizenship so long it does not discriminate against a particular caste, class or religion. Okay. That's one point. Okay. Second, the whole process of identification, which is the NRC, the listing is impractical, illogical, it will cause great inconvenience to people, which will make this law and whole exercise effectively discriminatory against the poor. Millions and millions of people who are poor and would find it difficult to establish their citizenship here with the solid pieces of document which government would seek from them, would not only be finding themselves out of this list, but the process itself, which, we are all talking about 19 lakh people who did not make it to the list. Can anyone tell how many million people in Assam would have bribed the government officials in Assam to get their name in? So, how many people had to take leave from wherever they were working? What would be the loss in terms of daily income, wages?
I hope you're aware there's already a national population register that could be operationalized. There was in fact a Gazette notification, if I remember earlier this year, to start a pilot project to do this. Now here's my next question. अमित शाह ने अभी बयान दिया है कि आप ये दोनों चीजों को जोड़ क्यों रहे हैं? आप क्यों जोड़ रहे हैं सिटीजनशिप लॉ और एनआरसी?
नहीं, ये तो वो जोड़ रहे हैं ना, सरकार ने ऐसा कहा है कि हम पहले सीएबी बिल लाएंगे, जो कि अब सीए एक्ट हो गया
जी।
और उसके बाद हम पूरे देश में एनआरसी करेंगे। उस एनआरसी में जो लोग भी, जिनका नाम भी नहीं आएगा, उनको 2024 से पहले इस देश से निकाला जाएगा। ये हमारा बयान तो है नहीं, ये तो सरकार कह रही है, इसीलिए तो लोग एजिटेट हो रहे हैं।
आप समझाइए लोगों को कि क्यों इन दोनों इश्यूज को इनएक्सट्रिकेबली लिंक्ड, जुड़े हुए मुद्दे समझते हैं।
क्योंकि आप सीएए ग्राउंड पे इम्प्लीमेंट कैसे करेंगे जब तक कि वो रजिस्टर बनेगा नहीं। रजिस्टर बनेगा तभी तो पता चलेगा कि कितने लोग ऐसे हैं जो कि बाहर से आए हैं, जिनकी सिटीजनशिप प्रूव नहीं हो पा रही है। उसके बाद आप ये कह रहे हैं कि जो लोग अपनी सिटीजनशिप प्रूव नहीं कर पाएंगे, उसमें से एक सेक्शन को, जो कि सर्टेन कम्युनिटीज को बिलोंग करते हैं, रिलीजन को से आते हैं, उनको आप सिटीजन बना देंगे और बाकी लोगों को छोड़ देंगे। अब समझिए, उसमें अगर 5 लाख लोग तमिल आ गए, उनका क्या होगा? और ऐसी कई जातियां हैं जो कि एकदम से डिफाइंड, जो 6 कम्युनिटीज को, जिनको सरकार नोटिफाई कर रही है सीए में, उसके बाहर होंगे। उनका क्या होगा? And we are talking about, again, I cannot emphasize enough about the logistical nightmare. And that's why I am calling it a demonetization, where we thought कि भाई ब्लैक, उस समय भी आर्गुमेंट यही था कि भाई देश में जो ब्लैक मनी वो नहीं हटना चाहिए, बिल्कुल हटना चाहिए। लेकिन मैं जो बात कह रहा हूँ कि जैसे आप एक अनुमान के अनुसार कितना बताते हैं, 3%, अभी असम की एक्सरसाइज बताती है, जो कि बॉर्डर स्टेट है, कि 6% लोग इलीगल या अपना प्रूफ नहीं कर पाए कि वो एनआरसी में हैं, एनआरसी में अपना नाम नहीं ला पाए। अगर इंडिया में वो फिगर आप 3% का ले लीजिए, 4% का ले लीजिए, 5% का ले लीजिए, इससे ज़्यादा तो नहीं होगा। मेरा सिंपल सवाल ये है कि उस 5% को आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए आप बाकी के 95% को क्यों परेशान कर रहे हैं?
आपने 2014 से पहले मोदी जी के कैंपेन पर काम किया था, क्या कैंपेन में ये मुद्दे उठे थे? क्या तब भी यही सोच थी कि इनको लागू करना है?
नहीं, आप 2014 का जो कैंपेन है वो पब्लिक डोमेन में है, जो घोषणा
पर इंटरनल पार्टी मीटिंग्स हुई होंगी, स्ट्रैटेजी मीटिंग्स हुई होंगी।
आप कहीं भी पूरे कैंपेन के दौरान अगर आप ये देख लें तो मुझे बिल्कुल बताएं कि उस पूरे कैंपेन में, 2014 के कैंपेन में, कहीं पर रिलीजन को यूज करके।
आपको क्यों लगता है ये अभी उठाया गया है मुद्दा?
अब ये मुझे पता नहीं क्यों उठाया गया है, क्योंकि शायद उन्होंने अपनी घोषणा पत्र में इस बार कहा है।
पर टाइमिंग, अभी 6 महीने भी नहीं हुए उनकी सरकार में।
ये तो भाई, अगर आप सरकार में चुनकर आते हैं तो इट इज प्योरली अप टू यू, व्हेन डू यू वांट टू इंप्लीमेंट व्हाट यू हैव प्रॉमिस्ड इन योर मैनिफेस्टो।
वन लास्ट क्वेश्चन, इफ वी स्टेप बैक एंड वी लुक एट व्हाट यू आर डूइंग टुडे। आप जेडीयू के साथ हैं, आप दिल्ली में अरविंद केजरीवाल के साथ काम करेंगे 2020 के चुनाव में, आप ममता बनर्जी के साथ काम कर रहे हैं 2021 के चुनाव में। खबर ये भी है कि आप कांग्रेस की कैंपेन पे भी काम कर सकते हैं। तो आपने आज एक चीज तो दिखा दी कि कुछ मुद्दे हैं जिस पे आपकी भी फीलिंग इतनी स्ट्रांग है कि आपको नॉन आइडियोलॉजिकल कहना गलत है। नहीं, आपको, आपके बारे में अभी तक अगर हम आपको राजनीति में देखें, वी हैव नॉट सीन यू टेकिंग अ वेरी कैटेगोरिकल पोजीशन ऑन इश्यूज। दिस इज द फर्स्ट टाइम आई हैव सीन इट इन ऑल द इयर्स आई हैव ऑब्जर्व्ड यू।
बट यू डोंट वांट टू सी इट। सी CAG that worked with BJP and Modi ji's campaign in 2014.
Yes. Citizens Action Group for Governance or Action for Governance.
Yeah, Citizens for Accountable Governance. After that, right from the foundation, from the beginning of IPAC, we have worked. The IPAC has worked with parties which are not with BJP. Now, if you want to see it, you don't want to see it, or you are not able to see it, I don't want to quarrel with that. The second part to it is that we cannot work with someone who doesn't want to work with us.
Which party are you referring to?
So I'm saying,
which party?
We don't need to. So I'm saying we need not work with BJP because they are so big, they are doing so well. Why would they seek any help?
And the Congress, would you be working with?
And those who are on the other side of the aisle, we have been working with them. But we can work with only who see some merit in aligning with or taking help or joining forces. We cannot force, and you cannot hire. These two facts you have to accept. IPAC cannot force any political party to work with it. And political parties cannot force us or induce us or hire us to work with them either. It's a mutual thing.
You have such a sharp political mind. Who do you in the end see as do you see a new political leader emerging in this new environment, or do you see among the existing leaders, any alternative to the Prime Minister?
I wish I would have had that kind of wisdom. I'm a very small guy. I have just started my own political career with a small regional party where I have not even taken any I've even tried to get into electoral politics. IPAC, which was started 4-5 years back out of compulsion to somehow survive after CAG's closure, have worked with parties which have been on the other side of the aisle compared to BJP. If IPAC continues to grow, of course I will be very happy. Today, we started IPAC with 3 people in 2014. Today, more than 2,000 people are working in IPAC. Why would I not like this body to
become a political party?
No, never. It will never become a political party, but it's a platform that allows youngsters to become part of the political process, especially the political campaigns, without necessarily joining politics. That is the stated vision of the IPAC. It's a platform for the young people and professionals to join and become part of the political process without necessarily joining politics. If you are part of the member of any political party, you cannot be part of IPAC, and that applies to me as well. I'm not part of IPAC formally, but having been associated with it, IPAC leadership, the team out there, they do seek, engage and take help wherever they want to take help from me, and I'm more than happy to do that. I'm not leaving that part. But I, as a political activist, as a political leader, I'm part of JDU with Nitish Kumar, and I'm trying to do whatever little.
You're part of JDU with Nitish Kumar, with IPAC helping all the non-BJP parties, while JDU is in alliance with the BJP. But the day you can explain to me how politics works and how you're able to get away with this, I will really doff my hat to you.
But JDU is not BJP.
But JDU is in government with BJP.
But so many parties, as you have seen in India, I think when we spoke in IIT last time in Delhi, I explained to you that show me a party that has not, aligning with a party, a particular party.
It's not the same as being that party.
To form a government, to implement a particular agenda is not same as being that party.
Okay, you have triggered, I think, a very critical debate, especially among state leaders on NRC and citizenship law. Thank you, Prashant Kishor.
Thank you.